Good morning, everybody. Out here on the 4th of July in the morning, taking a little walk with Bluto. And you know how we do, we're always picking up trash. Yeah, and just had a couple thoughts on my mind this morning. Number one, because it's the 4th of July, I don't think that this is what people, the way we're all living, I don't think that that's freedom. And the second thought on my mind is, fireworks. Do adults really get that excited over spending their hard-earned money on fireworks? Kids, are they just trained to think it's cool, or is it really cool because they get to play with fire and they see a reaction of some sort? Or is it just programming that we're supposed to like it? Because people think all that cardboard and stuff just disintegrates and gets put back into the ground, but it doesn't, and it's filled with chemicals. So being a trash picker-upper, I'm not a fan of the fireworks. Plus, most people have dogs and they're not fans of it. And then add on to that veterans and people from countries where there's war. That's also not a good thing. And so that was my second thought. And my third thought is this for today. If you go through something horrible, hang on, let me pick up this piece of trash. If you go through something horrible, embarrassing, like maybe you faint and piss yourself or throw up, or maybe your bowels, you eat some bad food and your bowels go or whatever. These things happen to people. And I want you to know, when those things happen and people are kind to you, that you're basically an angel, because you're reminding them that when things happen to them like that, that there are always kind and patient, good people that will be there for them and not belittle them for their humanness. These things are human. So, yeah. And then I guess my last thought is cash. Pay in cash. We don't have much longer, I don't feel, for the whole cash system. But when I was in high school, I took a class on how to fill out checks and sort of basic economics and stuff. It was a new idea at the time, and obviously it didn't catch on. But I was shocked in 1984 to be told that if you wanted a cup of water, you'd have to pay for it, and it would be sold in bottles. That thought process was not a thing when I was a kid. You could go anywhere. That was just a human right, and people at a restaurant or whatever would just give you a cup of water. And that back then everybody used cash. Credit cards were a newer thing, and people didn't use credit cards for everyday purchases. And when we were told that would be a thing, we sort of laughed and thought, that's ridiculous. Why wouldn't you want the money that you earned in your hand? So yeah, just some 4th of July thoughts, and I hope that you're thinking of freedom and what you can do to change this silliness that we've all gotten ourselves into by being apathetic and fallen for sillinesses. And we're not children. This isn't a child's channel, so we are not children. We don't need people to rule us, to tell us what to do. Just reminding you that to think for yourself, to tap back into what do you think is right and moral. Do you think it's okay for the government to come and take your small children when they identify as opposite gender? 80% of kids go through some sort of stage where they want to be the opposite gender, or a cowboy or an astronaut, or they think they're a puppy dog or a horse or whatever. I know my daughter went through a stage where she clip-clopped and neighed and was a horse everywhere she went for a while. So yeah, I think that we're living in a time of madness, and we don't have to. And just as quickly as we've gotten here, we can get out of here. So yeah, hold on to your faith and strength and freedom, and happy 4th of July. One love. Shine on.